You parked your wagon in the driveway last night, locked it, heard the beep, went inside. This morning, the spot is empty. No broken glass on the concrete, no gouged door lock, no alarm ever went off, and your key is still hanging on the hook by the door where you left it. The thief never touched it. Here's the part that'll make your blood boil. Your car's own computer logs show nothing wrong. As far as the electronics are concerned, you walked up, unlocked it, and drove away yourself. That's the new one that has police departments from Toronto to West Yorkshire admitting out loud that they can't stop it. And the crossover crowd loves to tell you a wagon is the sensible, boring choice nobody bothers with. So, how did your sensible, boring wagon end up on the same target list as a Range Rover? Because it runs on the exact same electronics. And today, I'll walk you through 9 wagons the thieves are hitting, the trick behind each one, and the cheap fixes that actually work. Stick around, because the last one is the method the cops genuinely can't crack, and the fix for it is not what you'd expect. Let me get one thing straight before the herd in the comments does it for me. Wagons are not the most stolen cars in America. Not even close. The theft charts are all Hyundai Elantras, Honda Accords, Chevy Silverados, the high-volume stuff sitting in every parking lot in the country. Your V70 is not number 1 on anybody's list. And if that's the gotcha you were loading up, save it. But low volume is not the same thing as safe. And here's why. A modern wagon is a keyless push-button, computer-on-wheels platform, the same as every luxury car and every crossover. It has a CAN bus, that's the internal network all the little computers talk over. It has a federally mandated diagnostic port under the dash. It listens for a key fob 24 hours a day. Every single weakness that put the Range Rover on the do not insure list lives in your Audi Avant too. And because a lot of these wagons are premium and older, they're worth real money in parts and worth even more shipped in a container overseas. The volume is low, but the exposure is anything but. Let's count them down from the merely clever to the one nobody has an answer for. Number 9. The Volvo 560 and V90, cross-country, the front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive models built before about 2021. These are the smooth, handsome Swedish wagons the anti-SUV crowd actually cross-shops. And Volvo, of all companies, left an old-fashioned hole in the earlier ones. The key fob on a V60 built before 2021 is always awake. It never goes to sleep. It sits in your pocket or on the hook by the door, broadcasting a little hello signal all night long, and that is all a relay attack needs. Here's how it works. And I'm not handing anybody a manual, just telling you what to watch for. 2 people, 2 radio boxes. One stands near your house and catches your fob signal through the wall. The other stands by the car and rebroadcasts it. The car thinks the key just walked up. Doors open, push button starts, gone in under a minute, no forced entry. What stings is that this is the same V60 owners brag about rolling past 200,000 miles, a Nokia tough Swedish wagon undone by nothing more than a fob that won't take a nap. The good news is Volvo fixed it. From about the 2021 model year on, the fobs got a motion sensor, so they fall asleep when they sit still, and a sleeping fob has nothing to relay. Volvo's even working on time of flight and sound-based tricks to measure how far the real key actually is. If you've got the older one, this is the wagon on the list with the easiest fix in the world, and I'll give it to you at the end. Number 8. The Mercedes E-Class wagon and the all-terrain. Again, the fobs from before 2019. Same relay weakness, different badge, and honestly, a juicier target, because a loaded E-Class wagon is a lot of cars sitting in one driveway. The older E-Class keys, the ones before Mercedes, quietly slipped a motion sensor into the fob around the 2019 facelift. Stay awake, just like the old Volvo. Relay it, and the Mercedes thinks its owner is standing right there. Now, I can hear it already. My E-Class has rolling codes. The signal changes every time. You can't just copy it. You're right, and it doesn't matter, because a relay attack doesn't copy anything. It doesn't need to beat the rolling code. It just carries the live signal from your pocket to the car in real time, like holding a phone up to a door intercom. The rolling code does its job perfectly and unlocks the car for a thief standing 30 feet from your actual key. That's the detail everyone misses, and it explains why the "but rolling codes" comment shows up under every one of these videos and why it's wrong. Number 7. The Subaru Outback and Legacy. And I'm putting the older 2005 to 2010 ones and the newer 2020 plus ones on here for two completely different reasons. The Outback is the wagon the Subaru faithful will defend to the grave. So let's be fair to it. The trouble is, it's been vulnerable at both ends of its life. Security researchers years ago found that certain older Outback and Legacy fobs used a rolling code you could predict, which is its own problem. On the newer keyless ones, the exposure moved to the diagnostic port, and that's the one worth understanding. Every car sold in America since 1996 has an OBD2 port under the dash. It's the law. It's how your mechanic reads codes. It's how the state does emissions, and it's a wide open door into the car's brain by design. There are legitimate locksmith tablets, the kind a dealer uses when you've lost every key, that can tell the car to accept a brand new blank fob as a valid key. In the wrong hands, on the wrong Outback, that's a working key programmed in about a minute, and afterward, the car's log just shows a routine key being added. Nothing looks stolen. It looks like a service visit. So, yeah, not the story Subaru puts in the brochure. Number 6. The Volkswagen Golf wagon and the Passat wagon, the all-track included, plus its cousin, the Skoda Octavia Estate, for you folks across the pond. The Volkswagen wagons are the practical Euro hauler pick, and in the UK, they've been getting hammered for years, mostly by that same relay trick from the older Volvos and Benzes. The Golf has sat near the top of Britain's stolen car tables for a while now, and the wagon versions ride along for the same reason. But there's a second reason the whole Volkswagen family is on theft device lists, and it's a nastier one that I'm saving the full explanation of for number 1, because it's the same underlying method that lands the top spot. For now, know this: the 4Motion Golf and Passat wagons share their electronic bones with a huge chunk of the group, Audis and Skodas, and seats all built off the same platform. And when a weakness gets found in the family's wiring, it doesn't hit one model. It hits the whole clan at once. That's the downside of shared parts. It's cheaper to build and cheaper to break into. Number 5, and this is the one I'd circle if you own it: the Audi A4 and A6 Avant, and the all-road, the keyless ones from roughly 2016 on. Here is why the Audi sits dead center on this list instead of at the edges. It gets hit two ways. It has the always awake relay weakness on the older fobs like the Benz, and it is a prime target for that OBD port key programming trick like the Subaru, because an A6 Avant is worth stripping and worth exporting. There is a documented UK case where thieves programmed a fresh key into an Audi through the port and then used the car in an armed robbery. That is not a fender-bender story. That is your quiet, tasteful wagon becoming somebody's getaway car because the diagnostic port the law requires handed them a key. And this is not small time. In April of 2026, a U.S. prosecutor named Jeanine Pirro announced charges against a ring using this exact port trick. And the way she put it, they do not need keys and they do not need hot wiring. In under a minute, she said, the car's brain gets rewritten. If you're finding this useful, do me a favor and hit subscribe. I dig into the wagons and used cars nobody else will tell you the truth about every week. And I'd rather you hear it from a guy who's actually turned a wrench than from a dealer trying to move metal. All right, from here on, the methods stop being clever and start being the stuff that keeps insurance adjusters up at night. Number 4. The BMW 5 Series Touring, the wagon we barely even get in the States, and its hot cousins. The BMW wagon is forbidden fruit for a lot of American enthusiasts, which makes it exactly the kind of low-volume, high-value car that gets targeted for parts and export rather than for a joyride. Relay theft on the older keys, the OBD trick on the newer ones, same as the Audi. But the reason it climbs above the Audi on this list is simple economics. When a car is rare and the parts are expensive and there's a waiting list of buyers overseas, the thieves don't need to sell the whole car. They part it out, and a stripped 5 Series Touring shell turns up on a quiet street a week later. Rarity is a feature right up until it makes you a target. Number 3, the premium performance wagons, and yes, I'm lumping them. The Audi RS6 Avant, the Mercedes AMG E-wagons, the fast ones. If you're lucky enough to own an RS6 Avant, I've got bad news, and it's the same news the Lamborghini crowd gets. These are among the most stolen-to-order cars in Europe, full stop. Nobody's relay attacking an RS6 for a spin around the block. There are shopping lists, actual buyer lists overseas, and a clean RS6 Avant or a fast AMG wagon gets stolen, containerized, and shipped before the owners even filed the report. Every electronic weakness on this whole list applies, but for these the motive is different. Nobody's stealing an RS6 on a whim. Somewhere overseas, a buyer already ordered it. That's the kind of number that makes an insurance underwriter reach for the good whiskey. But even a stolen-to-order RS6 still has to be gotten into somehow. And the way the sophisticated crews are getting into all of these now, quietly, with no signal to relay and no fob to fool, is the method sitting at number 1. Number 2, any of these wagons with a hidden little device, the trade nicknames the Game Boy. This one earns its spot because it beats the fix everybody thinks is bulletproof. You've heard the advice, and it's good advice. Put your key fob in a Faraday pouch so it can't be relayed. The Game Boy laughs at the Faraday pouch. It's a handheld unit, some of them literally styled to look like an old game console or a walkie-talkie, and it doesn't need your key at all. It emulates one. It wakes the car up, works out the code the car is expecting, and hands the car a key it's willing to accept, all on its own. West Yorkshire police in the UK busted a gang using one of these, and the going price on the device was around £20,000, which tells you exactly how much these crews are making back. The confirmed target list is long, and it includes wagons and wagon-based cars across Toyota, Lexus, Hyundai, Subaru, Nissan, and Mercedes. And because it doesn't touch your fob, hiding your key does nothing. Remember that for the fixes, because it changes the whole game. Number 1. This is the one the police genuinely cannot crack, and it's why the whole Volkswagen family and a long list of others made this list. It's called CAN injection. That's CAN, the name of the car's internal network, and the nickname the crews use is headlight hacking. Here's the concept, and again, this is what to defend against, not a how-to. All those little computers in your wagon, the ones running the lights, the doors, the immobilizer, they chatter to each other over that internal network, the CAN bus. And here's the flaw that a British engineer named Ian Tabor uncovered after his own Toyota got stolen, and that a car security expert named Ken Tyndall then reverse engineered and got an official vulnerability number assigned to. Those internal messages aren't checked. The computers just trust each other. So a thief reaches the wiring at the very edge of the car, often right behind a headlight, which is why they call it headlight hacking, and injects one fake message that says the key checked out. The immobilizer stands down, the doors unlock, the car starts. There is no fob to relay, so a Faraday pouch does nothing. There is no port being opened inside the cabin, so a port lock does nothing. The device is hidden inside a fake Bluetooth speaker, and while the guts inside cost about $10, the finished tool has sold on the dark web for around $5,000. Tabor's own stolen Toyota left a fingerprint behind in its logs, a burst of fault codes showing it had suddenly lost contact with the lighting computer, which is how they figured the whole thing out. Tyndall was blunt about it. In most cars on the road today, he said, these internal messages simply aren't protected, and the receivers just trust them. That's not a Volvo problem or an Audi problem. That's an almost every modern car problem. And it is exactly why departments are telling reporters on the record that the technology has gotten ahead of them. So, what actually works? Not theory, the stuff I'd put on my own wagon tomorrow. Start with the dumbest, oldest, ugliest tool there is, and the one thieves hate most, a steel steering wheel lock. A crew that can beat a rolling code and inject a fake CAN message in 90 seconds will still walk right past your car when they see a $20 bar bolted across the wheel because it's slow and loud, and there's an easier wagon 2 doors down. West Yorkshire's own detective, after busting that Game Boy gang, told owners to go buy a steering lock. When the cops chasing the high-tech crime tell you to buy the low-tech fix, listen. Next, a lock for the OBD port under the dash. That's a physical block over the diagnostic connector, and it shuts down the whole key programming route from item 5 and item 7 for the price of a nice dinner. Third, an aftermarket immobilizer, sometimes sold as a ghost immobilizer. It makes you tap a little pin sequence on buttons you already have before the car will drive, and since the thief doesn't know it, the car's a paperweight to him even if he's fooled every other system. This is the one that also covers you against the Game Boy and against CAN injection, because it doesn't care how they got in. It cares that they don't know your code. If you've got one of the older always awake fobs, the pre-2021 Volvo, the pre-2019 Benz, a Faraday pouch, or even a metal tin on the counter kills the relay attack cold overnight. It got so bad in Toronto that a police constable there, Marco Ricciardi, told people to just leave the fob by the front door, so a home invader grabs the car and leaves the family alone. When police are coaching you on where to set your keys so you don't get hurt, that's them telling you they've lost the electronic fight. So take the layer they can't beat for you. Just test it now and then. Drop the fob in, walk up to the car, try the handle. If it opens, the pouch is worn out. But remember what I told you at number 2 and number 1. The pouch does nothing against a Game Boy or a CAN injection, so it's one layer, not the whole wall. Last one, and it's free. Park nose in, tight against the garage or a wall, so nobody can get at the front wiring or back the car straight out. A tracker on top of that means even a stolen-to-order RS6 has a chance of coming home. So, here's where we landed. Your wagon isn't on the most stolen chart, and the herd will keep telling you that means it's the safe, sensible pick. But you and I both know the truth now. That empty driveway from the start of this video, the one with no broken glass and a key still hanging by the door, that's not because your car is junk. It's because a wagon runs on the same computer as the Range Rover, and the manufacturers left the same doors unlocked for everybody. The good news is the herd overpaid for the exact same weakness and doesn't know it. And you can shut yours down for the price of a steering lock, an OBD block, and 10 minutes in the driveway. Now I want to hear from the experts, because I know you're out there. Which wagon are you driving? What year? And what chassis code? Drop it in the comments. Tell me if yours made the list, and tell me what you've already done to lock it down. I read them, and the next guy scrolling through might need exactly what you figured out.